All right, time to round out the anniversary path. There is just a little bit of time left, and for the fusion, we're gonna, definitely pull enough to be able to complete the to get the rares, right? We need to get minimum two rares to be able to complete a fusion. So we're pulling a little bit of Sacred Shards there, just to get enough points for the anniversary path. Now, a lot of people are going hard, my clanmates included, for this anniversary path. They are really, um, going for those relic crafting materials, especially the ones that Alice Adventure ones, that gives a good amount of chance to get Cascades. And I just want to quickly talk about Cascades, right? Cascades is for sure a mythical relic disguised as a legendary, and it is, one of the best um, relics for damage dealers, mainly attack based and defense based damage dealers. Um, this relic is gonna boost your damage by so much. Ignore defense is just one of those things that just significantly boosts someone's damage, right? It just, whether you care about Hydra, Chimera, or just PvP in general, your attack-based damage dealer, defense-based damage dealers, if you put a Cascade on them, you're gonna notice a huge damage boost, more so than putting up a increased attack, increased defense, or having weaken on the opponent, having decreased defense. Like none of those will do uh, as like have a bigger impact than giving yourself more ignore defense, and Cascades gives a lot of ignore defense. Um, so yeah, I understand for someone who does not have Cascades or who does not have enough Cascades, to go hard on this anniversary path, right? Is one of the first times they brought that Alice in Adventure Cascades relic crafting materials back. Let's just take a look here. Mythical relic. No, Walnut submission. Anyways, so yeah, Cascades. Oh, look at this piece. Sometimes you have to check the market, guys. Look at this. Speed, crit rate, crit damage, defense. Right? Like you can't get any better than that. That's an insta buy. It could take upwards of 10,000 energy to even find one piece like this. Is just farming dungeons. So if you see pieces like this with the perfect stats, just get it, right? This is for sure worth the 4.7 million silver that it costs. So sometimes you got to check the market, and go for it. And then we're on the main account now. Um, we're just gonna pull enough to basically do the cascades. I'm not too worried about getting the 1+1, because we're not close to mercy, and we hit it on the first one. Like, what are the chances? It's So we're kind of debunking the CC luck theory we had the other time. The main account had terrible luck, right? Chasing Bayek, we went 24 sacreds without hitting a legendary in the 2x event, and while the other account was like two mythicals and eight legendaries, right? If you've seen that video. On the alt account, who is part of the Count Array, the official Plarium content creator program, that account got eight legendaries, two mythicals while chasing Bayek. While the main account spent went to Mercy, got Whirling Frost King on the Void shards, and then for Sacred 2x, spent 24 Sacreds, got nothing, right? Um, Now on the main account, we're pulling Sacred Shard first one, we get a 1+1. We were not close to Mercy for the main account Sacred count. So you know it just eventually evens out is what I'm saying. It's all RNG. I never believed there's such a thing as like a CC luck. Um, it is what it is, right? Um, Sometimes you just get really lucky. Um, I guess in my case, these two champions, like I don't mind duplicates. Both of these champions are duplicates, but they're in Sacred Order and Nice Revenant. So I went to double check because I don't think I'm looking for those champions anymore. Faction Guardian, Sacred Order, 10 out of 10. Nice Revenant, 10 out of 10. So these two champions do nothing for me, right? And because I already complete the Sacred 1 plus 1, not really point for me to pull any more sacreds. I think I'm just gonna complete the rest of the things with dungeon divers. Right, I've got a good amount of gems. Just convert them into energy. Run a bunch of maybe spider. Um, for spider, I can have one Marius and four food, so I can also double dip with a champion training. I can get silver, and I can get dungeon diver points for the anniversary path to finish the rest of the rares, right? So I don't have to spend any more sacred shards. There's no point because the 1+1 event, as soon as you hit the legendary, is over. Um, so it's just regular sacred chances now, and for what is this 6%? Like no point in pulling sacreds. And the other thing I want to talk about cascades is that yeah, for sure. If you don't have cascades, um, go for it. I would say it's worth it. If you have just maybe two or three, I would still probably consider going for it because shoveling your cascades around can be a pain in the butt. And if you don't have enough for PVE content for PvP, it's just so much star stone. Like you're moving things around, and it's just really tough, right? Over here for mythical materials and 20%. No, on the May account we have a truckload of Sirath. Not even want. I actually want a couple more want. Don't get it, right? It's Sirath every time. Um, so yeah. Um, but for me, I'm not going for Cascades anymore because I actually own four Cascades. I got quite lucky the first time around. So for this anniversary path, I'm just gonna stop right here. I'm gonna grab the two rares, and that's it for me, right? Um, it's been quite good as well. It's we have gotten the 1+1 from the ancient and the 1+1 from on one account from the sacred. The other one we don't have enough to get the 1+1, right? Which is fine. So we're gonna skip that. And then we're just gonna jump into this session of live arena. I believe this is with 4 days to go for the live arena. This session features a fun Marichka versus Predator 1v1 at the end, and it also features a whole bunch of back-to-back rematches and one back-to-back-to-back-to-back rematch. So it's a pretty fun session. So let's get into it. So over here, first battle, I'm not sure. Do I think I can be faster than this player? I actually didn't ban his Crexia. Usually I would ban the Crexia, but with a Lamasu being there boosting, if a Lamasu boosts, Marius, he can just triple smack me, and both of my Armans and Fabian are gonna be done for. So I took a gamble, right? I wanted to see if I'm actually faster than his Crexia or not, and turns out, look at the turn meter of Fabian. I think I may be like less than 5 speed off. So yeah, that's the intimidating presence difference. I don't have intimidating presence on the team. Maybe I should take another look, but this sort of situation doesn't happen often for me. So it is what it is. So Crexia is gonna lock us out. Not great. Weak hit on Armans. Crexia has a 35% chance to weak hit on Armans because of the affinity issue. So pretty good. We're not dead yet. We are able to, get an extra turn and try to sheaf the nice, but gets wanted, expected. Got one extra turn. I didn't try to fish for a second extra turn because I wanted to kill that Marius. Um, Nice by himself, he's not gonna be too threatening. His AoE doesn't do like it's gonna kill the Fabian, but it's not gonna do much to Maria. My Maria is super tanky build, and it's not gonna hurt the Embrys. I actually want him to kill the sheep so that my other champion comes back, but it didn't even do enough to the sheep, right? So over here now, um, the I want to double check here. Right. So the Maria took the first turn, right? So here's the thinking, with the Embrys move, and this is completely dependent on Maria. So Maria took the first turn, got an extra turn. On the second turn, I used the A3, got rid of the Marius, and damaged the Carnage. So now my third turn is ready, and I have my skills available, right? I'm no longer locked out on Maria. Um, so then the thing here and the decision here is Ember transformed. Normally, if Knight hasn't proc this passive, you don't want to have him proc it early. You actually want to take your time with Embrys and just block revive his Carnage, block revive his Crexia, and then go for the Knights, right? Um, but in this case, because I know that my Maria has the A2 ready, and it's gonna be on her third turn, I actually chose to AOE here. And the reason is because when I AOE with the Empress, the Nice is for sure gonna transform. And he's gonna be in the second form with a difficult decision, because if he chooses to go for the AOE, because the turn order on my Empress is higher up in the turn order, he's gonna kill the Empress, and the reflect damage is gonna kill himself. So he can't do the AoE. If he does the block damage, which I want him to do, my Maria is gonna take her turn, and I'm gonna be able to ignore that. So it's sort of like a checkmate. Have to recognize that as the Embrys player, when to take your time against things like Marichka, against things like Nice. Slowly kill the enemy with block revive, and when to go for the AOE, right? So in that situation, it was good to go for the AOE there. Um, Over here, we are against Predator. Yeah, I can't deal with Calvalax's last pick. I think three of my champions would be weak to Calvalax, so we had to ban that. And my opponent decided to leave Maria and ban the Karnage, which, in my opinion, Karnage is just tiers below Maria, right? Much, much weaker. But, Karnage does have that block passive, which kind of messes up some of his champions. So I can see the thinking. We're faster, so we go for a lockout. The I think the Galathier is locked out, so he thinks he has to transform. But look at the protected block debuffs, right? So he went for the strip, and it hits. We have three polymorphs. Hits one of them, and turns into a sheep. Yeah. Over here, we have four buffs. It's really annoying. I really, really hope I can get a 9 Mercurial soon, so I can rebuild the Maria. Because now I don't have the pieces to make her to have multiples of 3 buffs with the team that I have, right? Um, Next Grim Forest rotation, please, please give me like a amulet for undead. Like, so it's been 3 rotations and I still don't have it. Like, ridiculous, right? Just I'll take anything at this point. Um, for Maria to have a proper build of Mercurial. Um, yeah, because Mercurial kind of solves a lot of her issues, right? It's less damage, but we don't really care about the A1 and the A3 damage too much. The A2 is still gonna do damage, and the other thing is Maria kind of soloed their team. And the other thing is Maria's biggest weakness is sort of crowd control, right? Um, Over here, I'm not sure. Okay, I wasn't expecting this player to do double lockout. And I don't even know if my Warlord is geared. I haven't used him in PvP in a long time. I sort of wanted to, because I expected this player to run Mercurial, and I wanted to bring a lockout. But okay, my Warlord is geared, but it's just not fast. That's the issue. And he's got, what is that? Chronophage. Chronophage on the Yumiko, which is going to be able to reset their skills. Anyways, so this match is kind of not good, right? Um, I do have some resistance on Warlord, but not that much. So I'm pretty sure that was like a slightly more than 3%, that we resisted. Uh, However, I don't think the Predator was locked out. It was not. Yeah. The Predator won the 50-50. Um, okay. So just one nuker against a locked out Hilvi. Usually this is a good situation. However, that one nuker that I have is the chicken, and chicken doesn't have multi-hit. And the reviver on the opponent's side is Helvi with 9 Mercurial. So you will see, this is why I don't use chicken often, because you struggle. So like, imagine this was a Maria, right? um Helvi tried to freeze me. You can't freeze the chicken passive. But like here, Hilvi definitely should have done A1 there to decrease defense. You can't freeze the chicken, but I can't do anything to this 9 protection Hilvi as the chicken, because I don't have multi hit, right? Even in Form 1, I guess I can put the, if I get the transform available, I'll go to Form 1 and do the counter attack. But I don't have the transform available. And yeah, it just sucks because now Hilvi revives. Um, Everyone has block damage, which I don't mind. Chicken go through the block damage, but they have more turn meter than me. Um, so it's just, sometimes these nukers, they have just single hits, and if you're against like a 9 Mercurial fast reviver, there's nothing you can do. You just lose, right? Um, so lesson learned. Over here, we're against Hilvi again, and we picked Karnage and Maria. These champions can deal with Mercurial, right? Um, yeah, if you know you're going against Mercurial and you pick single target, single hits, damage dealers, you're gonna have a bad time. It's just not good anymore. Um, so Carnage, good. Maria, good, right? Um, okay, never mind. This player doesn't have Mercurial, but Maria also can deal with Stone Skin, so not a big deal. Um, Try to steal, doesn't get it. Okay, the chicken is gonna buff up. Gonna nope. Staying in Form 1. Oh, reflect damage killed the Carnage. Okay, I see. That's why we're staying in Form 1. And counter attack killed that. Would I take back? So first round for Maria, didn't get extra turn. Uh, did I miscount? Sorry. Okay, I did get extra turn on turn 1. Turn 2, so right now it's turn 3 on Maria. Okay, so when I was playing this, I didn't miscount. Um, so Maria's A2 is ready. It can go through block damage. And I revived Carnage, who's all the way in front. I'm like looking, did my Carnage get block revived? And nope, he's just decided to stand really, really far in front. So you just have to click him, and he'll be revived back. Okay, so here I decided to go for the Embrys kill, which is gonna lock out. And then here I can do the triple hit. I don't want to the idea is I want to spread it to the chicken, but against Marius, he's sort of low. So the second hit actually killed him too fast, and the block active didn't go on the chicken, right? So pretty bad here. Pretty bad. But but the block passive went on the chicken. And it ended up being so clutch because the chicken second form, he's immune to all CC, including polymorph. He uses his irresistible. I think is the A two, is it A2 A3? The Sunder Sky that puts irresistible decreased defense, and then is a big nuke, right? But because he puts the decreased defense first, that hits my Zifi, who has a 6-star polymorph, and the mastery that gives more percentage, right? Turns into a sheep. Now, normally you would never see the chicken second form turn into a sheep. I was like wondering there for a second, but because his passive is locked, he got turned into a sheep. And yeah, this is very, very lucky for us. I'm pretty sure we should have lost this match, right? Because we killed the Marius too fast. Um, that the block active didn't go on the chicken, we should have lost. Um, Next time, maybe use Karnage to target someone else who has higher HP and then try to spread it, right? And not target the low HP Marius. I don't use Karnage often, so silly mistakes. But yeah, for sure we should have lost. My opponent played well, but because the block passive, the polymorph, it gave me another chance, and we were able to win this fight. So pretty lucky there. Pretty lucky. Over here, I just think 9 Mercurial Hilvi is just so annoying. Especially if they ban the Maria for some reason. Not a lot of people ban Maria, but if they ban the Maria, I'm gonna have a hard time with just Embrys dealing with 9 Mercurial, right? So I ban the Hilvi. Um, and yeah, I almost never ban Predator these days. It's just I think Predator sometimes can be good, sometimes can be shit. And a lot of times I'm facing Predator, they're shit. So yeah, like over here, we got a lockout. I take my extra turn and I do the nuke. Yeah, this is one of those instances where Predator is shit, right? It's just inconsistent. Just an inconsistent champion. Um, Even like Maria is somewhat inconsistent, but the inconsistency is she has 70% chance to take an extra turn and 30% to not. The math works out like that. Whereas Predator is 50-50. I can't accept 70-30. And if I lose the 30%, I'm okay with it. Here they got the Soliner and no duel. You can't let them have the Soliner, right? You just ban the Soliner and deal with Akrexia and Niamhi and the Predator, because that duel together is kind of nuts. Even without no duel, the Soliner is kind of nuts if you're not prepared for it. So pretty much this player will always get Soliner banned against him, I think. Here we actually have enough accuracy to land the polymorph on Krexia is huge. If this player has enough accuracy on the Krexia, we just lose, right? I think. Um, so so we do the attack. Now I think Predator still has a lot of his things available, but you know he doesn't have the veil anymore, and Chicken does great versus Niamhi. The protected block damage, we don't care. We ignore that, right? Um, weak hit. Okay, left. Yeah, Chicken is a great pick into block damage, especially Niamhi team compositions. He's just very, very good, right? Against Nice, he lacks a little bit. He lacks a little bit. Um, a lot of the well built Knights on the second form, if they're buffed up enough with all those extra HPs and whatnot, Chicken doesn't do enough damage to one-shot him through the block damage, and then you're just having a sad time. Um, so Maria is a little bit better. Um, Marius and Maria are my top picks right now against Nice. Chicken has gone down. Here I'm using a Hilvi. I don't use Hilvi often. I'm testing that out to see how it does. I'm gonna buff up. I'm gonna transform. I'm gonna do this. If you have the option to do the A2 versus the A3 for the kill, and they're not under like block damage, I would always recommend to use A2 on the chicken with the decreased defense. The reason is because he also steals turn meter, right? You see the like boost turn meter times 2 on the chicken, so he'll get to cycle faster. And when the opponent inevitably like their reviver is gonna take a turn and revive their champions, the chicken is gonna be ready to go for another AoE. Um, Only when they have block damage, that's when I would use the A3. Otherwise, I'll use the A2 for the nuke. And here my Marius is even ready. So against like these sort of tanky revivers having multiple AoE target damage dealers, we don't care about the veil, right? Um, the Marius is gonna just knock them down again. Sheeped. Okay, triple hit. Chicken didn't even need to take another turn. It's great. All right, over here, Predator every match, and a lot of times, if the Predator doesn't hit the jackpot, he just doesn't do anything. Um, this one is a 9 Mercurial Predator with a Nianhi protecting, so block damage, and fairly safe, right? Fairly safe. But we're also gonna see like maybe what kind of damage this Predator is gonna do to us, being in that sort of build. There, my polymorph procced, but because the Hilvi still had a Mercurial stack, so she does not turn into a sheep. So good, right? This set is so good right now. AoE, okay, did do fair amount of damage. Couldn't kill the Marichka, which is in like a sort of tanky build, but against Marius, against Fabian, expected, killed them, right? Um, so over here, we're trying to get rid of his Mercurial stacks. Like go for their second form. Now, because Niamhi is under HP burn, our A2 is going to be able to hit through that and get the kill. And then now we just have to put the unkillable on ourselves and just try to get rid of his total guards every turn. He puts the he does the A2 on the Predator, doesn't do enough damage. And over here, I'm just gonna heal up, total guard every time, every turn, right? Yeah, doesn't do enough damage. That's the drawback of 9 Mercurial. Not gonna hit as hard, right? On the AoE against these sort of like a tanky champions. Oh, we are getting a little bit close here. And to try to petrify him, dodged. But this one he didn't dodge. Okay. Dodged that one. Didn't dodge that one. Didn't dodge that one. Okay. Yeah, Predator. Okay. Every fight is Predator, right? Every fight is Predator. And if we can be higher percentage than the 50-50, that's good enough. In the long run, you're gonna beat more Predator than not. And what is going on here? Oh, Bayek. This player picked Bayek, and it's not a good pick right here. And if you recognize why, Fabian, high accuracy. Armand's high accuracy. Marius has increased accuracy and also has accuracy built. Maria, I don't know about other players, but my Maria has accuracy built, right? So I can guarantee you these champions all have higher accuracy than like Predator and Nice. So it's kind of useless pick here. I do agree that if you're gonna pick Bayek, you're gonna pick it last, but it has to be against like a team that sort of makes sense, right? Um, yeah. So over here, the only one is really affecting is Marichka and Do I care if my Marichka doesn't crit? Right. Um, I had to bend a no because we're taking a lot of extra turns, turn meter buffs. Now it's just gonna mess us up. So I go for the increased cooldown. I even sheep the Bayek. Now there's no Bayek anymore on the field, so the passive is no longer working. And here, I should have gone for the. Oh, sorry, we have 3 buffs. Okay, never mind. Go for the A3 is completely fine. Um, yeah, go for the total guard stack with A1. That's always good choice. Kill the Nice, petrify the the Galathier. Bay comes back. Gonna heal. Gonna take extra turn. Gonna get them low a little bit lower. And Predator. This is a +4 Predator, but because he's locked out, not even a champion, right? Just useless. Bayek itself has quite good amount of accuracy built. So you see there, this should have killed, but because of Bayek's passive, I didn't crit on him, and he stayed alive, right? But I do have higher accuracy than apparently the Galathier. I guess Galathier builds resistance and converts it to accuracy. That's why he has lower accuracy. And the Predator, we would have hit him, but he is not below 66% HP. That's why he didn't get hit with a splash. And then over here, we're just farming to extra turn. Okay, the Predator has what you call that, accuracy built. Okay, I can respect that then. He specifically built his Predator to have somewhat good amount of accuracy, and that actually saved him. My A2 on Maria only did 55k. This usually does like 300k, right? It's not a crit on the Predator. So this player did think about his team and purposely build his champions with accuracy. Over here, I'm thinking, okay, he has accuracy built on his champion. Let's get rid of that Bayek. If he's a sheep, his passive is no longer applies, right? Okay, we want to get rid of that total guard for sure. And unfortunately, the Maria didn't get to take a turn before the Bayek, but we stole their turn meter, so we are pretty happy here. That splash killed everyone. So now that passive is no longer in play, and we should have no issue with a Predator anymore, right? Who is locked out, who is feared. Yeah. So +4 Predator, 6-star blessing, didn't do anything, right? This fight did like 1A1. Yeah, sometimes not good. Against this player, we got Siegfried, Nice, and Predator, and this is a perfect team to use Maria. I don't know why I didn't pick Maria here. What did I have? Marius and Gizmak. Okay. All right. Should struggle a little bit. Against this sort of team. But because Gizmak also can ignore block damage if they are under HP burn, and that Siegfried Feral buff, the block debuffs, got decreased buff duration by Fabian. Fabian's decreased buff duration doesn't care about Lightning Cage, right? Lightning Cage can protect against removals and steals, but does not do anything versus decreased buff duration, which is what Fabian and Marius has. So the Lightning Cage does nothing to us. So we were able to get rid of that block debuffs, and then we reapply the HP burn on them. And now this double hit should be able to one-shot the Siegfried, even though he has the block damage. Yeah, there. We kill them, and okay, nice took an extra turn before us, and then we get the other extra turn, right? Over here, we do the triple hit. This nice here actually giving us assist, right? So the nice staying alive, transforming to the second form, which give us a fourth hit and kill the predator. So nice is being a secret double agent to us. Like as a Marius player, you love to see nice, right? They're just so good. Um, Over here, Solanar is probably the highest threat on this sort of team. Um, like yeah, mythical 6-star blessing. So this player definitely got a good amount of champions and souls. The question is whether or not they have a gear. That's the biggest thing, right? Um, Looks like is Volcardic Heart and Stone Skin build. Okay, so we're going to do the sheep, which didn't do anything, so good amount of resistance. That's good. Now we know that 2 of those are resistance built. Um, Over here, I don't actually want to put more buffs because Maria has exactly 3. We are finally able to strip somebody's stone skin there. So we have a target to hit, and then the third hit comes, right? But Donnie is here, so this is not going to kill anything. 200k damage, no kill, right? All right, Donnie's turn. Gonna ally attack the Armans, maybe? No. Going for the Marichka. Okay, we're gonna go triple hit. We die to the Volcardi Heart. Sometimes as Marius, if you're against some tanky champions and they have Volcardi Heart, better to do the A2, right? In my opinion, that's probably a misplay on my part, but I really wanted to do damage to them. And if I don't do the A3 into A2, I'm not gonna do nearly as much damage here, right? This is just setting up my Maria so that she can, clean this up. So over here we do the A3, get extra turn, A1, get extra turn. Shibaya's servitude on Galathier, so annoying. Plus his passive, he's just so tanky. Like look at him, not dying here. But this A2 should do a lot of damage, even though we're not critting. 40k, right? Take out that champion. So well built team. Good amount of mythical relics. Pretty scary, right? Over here, this team. Yeah, Theo with 9 Mercurial is a pain to deal with. If you have a chance to A1, A1 that Theo, right? Okay, put the stone skin on. We're going to strip their stone skin. Actually, don't hit the predator. Over here, we're going to remove that total guard. We're going to fish for an extra turn. Actually, I don't. This is the first turn. We got an extra turn. Now, usually, what I would do is try to fish for another one. But because I saw that's a 9 Mercurial Theo, and she just looks sort of squishy. The reason I say that is because after I got rid of the Mercurial stack, my Maria's A1 hit her, and it did that much damage. Like that's probably 10, 15, 10%. Against a tanky champion, Maria shouldn't do that much with the A1. So I feel like she's sort of squishy. I decided to just use A2 straight up and kill her instead of giving her an opportunity to do, her shenanigans with the revive and unkillable and whatnot. Marius decided just to the A2. Okay, and then here after revive, my Gizmak gets to go, so it's lined up perfectly. Gizmak kills 2, puts unkillable on himself, and then this is my third turn. Debating. I decided to do just the A1, do another A1, and that's it, right? Yeah. Against this player, okay, uh, we're in for a treat here. I always thought this champion from the Sacred Order, I don't know her name, Glacia or something, that has a 50-50% chance to protect your team from being locked out. I always thought she's like somewhat inconsistent. And I always thought things like, Yumiko in Chronophage or Donnie in Chronophage is better, or Crexia to deal with lockouts than her. But this player is, sort of showing why this champion is quite good. He has that champion built in 9 Mercurial. And okay, this is a pretty crazy interaction. I'm going to slow this one down here. What Armand's did here. So Armand's A1 has a chance to increase skill cooldown. And whenever an opponent, like this champion's passive, whenever someone tries to increase an opponent's, an ally's skill cooldown, she has a chance to, I think, take an extra turn, um, and prevent that cooldown increase, right? Um, and also freeze the one who does the cooldown increase. So when the freeze happens, Hilvy's passive procs, because when someone's freeze, Hilvy will be able to put a um, HP burn on that person. And also, I think this Hilvy may also have some mastery that puts a leech, but that's not really important. So after she puts a freeze, Hilvy puts a HP burn, um, and then the like I think my wand tried to proc, but because they have 9 Mercurial, so nothing happens. And then after the HP burn gets put up, Marichka passive procs because someone puts HP burn on my allies, so and she puts block damage on everybody. It is a wild interaction here with just Arma's A1ing the Hilvy. So many things happening. Unless we slow it down, like I don't even know what's going on. Um, yeah, so that champion so far is doing pretty well. Um, has frozen us, and the Hilvy won the strip on Marichka. We do the lockout. We couldn't lock out the predator, and that champion got an instant turn. Um, so right now it's looking fairly bad, fairly bad. I go for the second form and put the unkillable on myself and taunt, um, basically telling the predator to hit me, and he can't use A2, so he has to AOE, I think. But because of the ally like damage protection, we saved everybody. Oh, that freeze and burn. That champion plus Hilvy might be secretly a really good combo. Like it's looking real good, and it's really bad for me so far. Over here, Helvi has the Mercurial, right? So this is like none of my skills will do anything, but um, but because I'm taunted, like I have to target her, so I can't use the sheep anymore. I have to do the Terminator still. Um, and then here, the A2, I guess it will go through the block damage uh, on Predator, but I chose not to use it and just refresh. She has a buff like a AOE buff steal too. So this champion is not bad. It's not bad. It stole my taunt, stole my unkillable. Ugh. And Wanda submission procs. I mean, there's the like luck involved, and there's also um, the other thing, right? And over here, the Gizmak actually died to the reflect damage, I think. So we're just gonna speed that up because we're not gonna do anything for a while. He has to kill the Marichka. I'm gonna speed up so much. 8 times speed. Just kill the Marichka. This player is taking his time. Um, if he lines it up perfectly, he can kill the Marichka and then immediately comes back. Okay. My Fabian takes a turn, gets frozen. Great. My Crexia doesn't have skill available. Hilvi puts the thing. Weak hit. I think that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. So we lose the first one, and look at who we have again, right? Same player. This time I took the Hilvi because I recognized that for this player the key unit was Hilvi, and I decided to take that champion away, right? Um, I think we can deal with that protect lockout champion um, if we sort of play around it. And he banned my lockout anyways, so we're in a much better situation here. Um, polymorph. What is Arman's doing? He just goes in and gets frozen right off the bat. Try to remove those stone skin. We do. Hilvi try to remove the block debuffs. Don't get any of them, right? A little bit unlucky there. Um, with that, wand procs, I polymorph myself. A little bit unlucky there. Um, AoE kills one, right? Kills the Armons. Now my turn. Block damage because he's HP burned. Gizmak can go through that. So actually kill that. And then revive. I think we won, right? Just Leonardo left. Yeah, we won. So the second rematch, because we took the Hilvi, we win. Third match, same player. He gets the Hilvi um, right off the bat. It's not looking good, right? I decided to really double down on the lockout and brought double lockouts, and he brought in the volcanoes with another demon. So I have to respect that, right? I really wanted to ban the Helvi, but volcanoes with another demon with my team, who's taking a ton of extra turns and boosting turn meter, I'm just gonna burn myself to death. So I had to ban that. First lockout, increase cooldown on one, I think Helvi. That's it. And gets frozen. Not great. I get HP burn and frozen. Like that champion and Hilvi is doing some funky things and really, giving me trouble here. Second lockout, I strip nothing. Um, sure. Go for the extra turn. Don't get another extra turn. Okay. And I think it's just AoE, right? It's pretty much over here. As soon as Maria dies here, I think that's it. But yeah, that's it. So third rematch, not great, not great, right? Fourth, fourth time, I don't pick Hilvi first this time. I go for Fabian. I give him the Hilvi. Um, we we are going to do something slightly. What did I ban here? I banned the Predator this time, because he picked Karnage, and I just don't think Karnage is a good enough damage dealer by himself. So I banned the Predator, and just Karnage, yeah, we're still getting frozen like crazy, right? HP burn and frozen. It's just that Joan champion doesn't do a lot of damage either. couldn't even kill the Fabian. Neither could the Carnage. Like these champions just don't do damage. They are annoying, sure. They can revive, offer a lot of utility, sure, but they just don't do damage. And I don't respect the champions that can't do damage, right? So over here, we weren't able to get the petrification. And Maria didn't get the extra turn, right? So right now we're on the second turn, coming up on the third. Hilvi. Still locked, I think. Okay. Get rid of the Mercurial. Eyes on the prize. We killed, but I don't think the lock went through because we got frozen here. That champion is really doing a lot of work against lockouts. Fairly good. After this, I'm thinking that champion with Helvi is a pretty good counter to lockout. It was pretty good. But like Helvi is dead, and the rest of the champion is not going to do anything. So that was the back to back fights against that player, right? I don't know about him. I had fun. I you know, um, I let him pick that champion 4 times, and I'm impressed. That champion is fairly good. I also own that champion. I had that champion in my vault for a long time. I might, think about building that champion at some point. Just give me another option against lockout, right? So it's not just Crexia or Chronophage Fabian. There's one more thing. Okay, this one he picked, I think Noel Cernic. I banned Noel. That's it, right? Once the combo falls apart, I don't think there's anything they can do. For the second rematch, I think it's the exact same player. He took out the Noel and the Cernic, but at the beginning of the lockout, his Predator got locked out, so it's game over, right? Predator didn't hit the 50-50. It's not even a champion. He just lose, right? Over here, yeah, with just a Mithrala left, what are we doing? Still staying in the match. That's it, right? I'm just going to speed that up. Yeah. So just looking at the rematches here, that was back to back to back to back, followed by another, maybe at that specific time for that amount of points, there was not a lot of players. But yeah, we had a lot of rematches. And we're facing a lot of predators. It's just almost every fight, right? I would say. Yeah, it's a phenomenal, um, little overrated, little overrated. Um, Ashnar is a neat counter to Gizmak because when Gizmak puts those HP burns on the opponent, not only do those HP burns not do any damage, he'll also heal them. But because he picked Ashnar, it also gave me information because Ashnar counters Gizmak. It also tells me that he's not running Mercurial. Because if you're running Mercurial, why would you pick Ashnar, right? Your only concern is if the HP burn is going to go through. So that gave me information. So then I banned his Ashnar, and knowing that he's not going to ban my Gizmak is going to give me a lot of value, right? Now, Freya does have a cleanse that, but it also tells me like there's no Mercurial that I have to worry about. Like go for the like the boost here, put up another HP burn. Unfortunately, don't kill any target, right? Don't kill any target. Like go for the extra turn. Go for another extra turn. Now, it's important that like usually when someone is that low, you don't want to A1 them, right? For the extra turn. But because Freya protects your best champion, like I think the highest crit damage. And I just took a gamble here. I don't know, but I assumed that Marius is the highest one. I attacked the Marius thinking he might get an extra turn, and he did. He got protected, got an instant turn, but because it's a triple hit, I killed him anyways. And now I have the third hit, right? And the Freya's passive is gone. So here, just hit the stone skin target, 350k, and at this point they're not locked out. Um, the predator dodged the lockout, the irresistible one, and was able to take out the Maria. But we have a 9 Mercurial Gizmak, very very difficult for predator to deal with. We'll see how this goes, right? Um, A1, dodge, dodge, attack. Okay, it doesn't dodge that one. I decided to transform back to the first form because I think the HP burn might do a little bit more than just fighting him. And if he dodges, you can't dodge the HP burn damage. He goes for the AoE. Okay. Ally attack, counter attack, A1. Okay, because of that counter attack, he got rid of my Mercurial. Important. Block revived the Gizmak. Now I think both my damage dealer are block revived, right? Maria is block revived, Gizmak is block revived. Now normally if my Marichka dies, it's just gonna bring back Armans. So I'm in a really tough spot. But here's the thing. My Marichka has Magma Shield. She has Volcari Heart as the relic, right? And Magma Shield reflects damage. You can't dodge reflect damage. That's one of the things that the evade doesn't work against. And so here you see that the predator is hitting us, and he's healing, yes, but he's also taking damage, right, from the reflect damage. So I buff up. He has to hit me. He's hitting into the Magma Shield, and over here our HP is high enough that when he hits me again, it procs the Magma Shield again. And he counterattacks, hits in the Magma Shield, dies 1v1 to the Marichka. So, another counter to Predator, right? Added to the list. Magma Shield is great versus Predator as well. And so yeah, that was it. That was the last fight of the day, and that was the Marichka versus Predator 1v1, as promised. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys are doing well with your fusions, and getting something for the anniversary path. I maybe something useful for the 1+1. I've got nothing, right? But at this point, it's hard to pull champions that's useful for my account. There are select few that I'm looking for, plus the faction guardians that I want to get. They're only for some factions. So yeah, that's it for this session. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.